Welcome back to video 2 of 3, change how you think about employee inductions if you want to reap the rewards. And I'm really excited to be back with you. And I'm going to share with you now more questions, checklists that we work through with our clients, condensed version, but you'll still get some really valuable insights and examples that you're going to be able to take back and use in your own organisation. And that's why we're here. So let's get started. In this video, the second one of 3, I want to take you through the checklist that we work through before we start to co-design a different induction welcome experience for organisations. So let me take you through the first 5 points in that checklist, all right? And let's go through them bit by bit. So we always look at what's happening, what's the reality, what are you doing at the moment? So the first question we ask is, what are the strengths and the value and the benefit and the positive impact of that current induction process? So we're looking at what's working particularly well and understanding why that is. The second question we ask at this pre-design phase is, what are the existing gaps within the induction? Now, a lot of people won't even have the time. They won't even think about how they want to do that. They'll just continue on. And that is why this work is so important, to do the thinking around what works, but more importantly, what is not, and how do we actually create an opportunity off the back of that. So we're asking a question 2 as part of that checklist: where are the gaps at the moment? Point 3, what's essential? So what do people absolutely need to know to be able to deliver on the standards, the expectations, that strategic vision and why of the business? What's absolutely essential? And we're looking at leaving behind the content that just is superfluous to needs. Yeah, we've got to be really quite smart about what we're putting in there and when we're putting it in there. Point 4 in the checklist is, how does the business actually communicate its benchmark that it wants its staff to actually achieve by being part of this induction learning and development experience? Remember, I'm not coming from an HR perspective. I'm putting a learning and development approach and mindset over this to create something quite different. That's why we're here. So yeah, how do we benchmark outcomes and what are the standards that we need people to actually reach? And being very clear on that from the beginning and communicating that very, very clearly to that employee. The fifth point that we put in this checklist is, what are the strategies for measuring impact? So how do we know that people are actually meeting these benchmarks or not in real time? So what is the tactics that we're using to be able to check, not at the end of it when we go, gee, can you show me how you do that? And then they're like, no, this is actually how you measure that progress and understanding if people are reaching it or not in real time as they go through that experience as well too. Now, the induction experience is not static. It does continue to evolve. So you need to think about the following 3 questions if you are responsible for designing that experience. The first one is, how do you want people to feel and act as a result? What's the emotional response that you want? How do you want them to think? How do you want them to act throughout that experience? It's incredibly important that you get very, very clear on that before you can design the approach. Number 2, what challenges are you facing as a business? So this requires you to look at it from a bigger picture, a strategic perspective, and then think about how you want to be embedding that back into the induction as well too. How does that change the content that you will be including within that? So think about what's the challenge, the crisis, the gaps within the business, both from a global, national perspective, and how does the induction need to evolve to be able to meet that? And the third question is, what outcomes do you want from it? So 3 questions you've got to ask. If you're responsible for designing and implementing it, you need to get very, very clear on that before moving into that design phase. So I hope you've enjoyed it. We always have short videos or questions attached to these videos. So make sure that you leave an idea, a comment or an insight against that. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're a pro member, you will get the notes, which is basically like the script of this video. So you'll have the checklists and the questions that you're able to refer back to and utilize in your business. So enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you at one of our experiences. Thank you.